The observation deck of the Galactic Research Station Kepler-7 fell silent as the monitors flickered to life. 3 dozen xenobiologists from across the consortium leaned forward, their various appendages, sensory organs, and neural clusters focused on the image transmitted from the surface of Verdant 9. Dr. Ilara Quinn knelt in the crimson grass, her small human frame dwarfed by the creature before her. The predator, designated Rhynac by the research team, was a magnificent specimen of the apex species native to this world. 4 meters of scaled muscle, 6-limbed and built for violence with rows of crystalline teeth that could shear through starship hull plating. Its obsidian eyes, usually cold and calculating, now flickered with something the observers had never seen in such a creature. Confusion. "She's going to be killed," chittered Vexthor, the Clixian lead researcher, his mandibles clicking nervously. "We must intervene." But Commander Xyloth, a veteran of a dozen first-contact scenarios, raised one of his 4 hands. "Wait, humans? They are never what they seem." Dr. Quinn moved slowly, deliberately. The gash along Rynac's flank, caused by a rival's talons during a territorial dispute, wept violet blood onto the ground. The predator had collapsed here 3 hours ago, and standard protocol dictated observation only. No interference with natural processes. Yet the human had descended from the research shuttle alone, carrying nothing but a medical kit and what appeared to be food. Behavioral analysis suggests a 94% probability of aggressive response, the station's AI intoned. The predator's pain response will trigger attack instincts. Ilara knew this. She had written half the papers on Verdant 9's ecosystem herself. But she also knew something the AI's algorithms couldn't quantify: the weight of a gaze that recognized intelligence looking back. She tore open a ration pack, the scent of protein-rich paste wafting through the alien air. Rynac's nostrils flared. The predator's muscles tensed, preparing to strike despite its wounds. Every instinct in its body screamed that this small, soft creature was prey. Then Dr. Quinn did something that made the observers gasp in their various native languages. She ate first. She took a portion of the food, placed it in her own mouth, chewed slowly, and swallowed. Then, maintaining eye contact, she placed another portion on a flat stone and slid it toward the wounded predator. Not close enough to threaten, not far enough to insult. "Fascinating," Xyloth breathed. "She's establishing trust protocol. But this is a non-sapient predator. It cannot comprehend." Rynac's long neck extended. Its crystalline teeth, each one capable of crushing bone, delicately picked up the offering. It swallowed, then watched the human again, calculating, analyzing. Ilara moved to her medical kit. The observers expected her to produce a sedative, perhaps a healing agent. Instead, she pulled out a scanner and a surgical laser, tools that in other contexts might be weapons. "She's insane," Vexthor declared. "That predator will interpret this as an attack." But Dr. Quinn did something else unexpected. She turned the scanner on herself first, running it across her own arm where an old scar marked her brown skin. Then she activated the laser at its lowest setting, letting it play across her palm for a moment. A demonstration, clear and unmistakable. "This device causes warmth, not pain. This is healing, not harm." She approached Rhynac slowly, projecting calm with every movement. The predator could have killed her in a heartbeat. Its muscles coiled, ready. But something in the human's steady approach, in her open hands and calm breathing, gave it pause. When Ilara placed the scanner against Rynac's wound, the predator flinched but didn't strike. When the surgical laser began to seal the torn flesh, it rumbled, a sound that could have been a threat or perhaps impossibly acceptance. For 20 minutes, Dr. Quinn worked while the consortium's finest minds watched in stunned silence. She cleaned the wound, sealed the major vessels, applied a synthetic skin graft, all while maintaining a running monologue in her soft human voice. Words the predator couldn't understand, but a tone it somehow did. When she finished, she didn't retreat immediately. She sat back on her heels at her most vulnerable and waited. This was the test. This was the moment that would define whether she had saved a life or merely delayed her own death. Rhynac rose slowly, testing its newly healed flank. It towered over the human, massive and terrible. Then it did something that would be studied by xenobiologists for generations. It lowered its head and touched its snout to Dr. Quinn's shoulder, gentle, deliberate, acknowledging. Then it turned and disappeared into the crimson forest. The observation deck erupted in a cacophony of voices, but Commander Xyloth silenced them with a gesture. Do you understand what we just witnessed? A human showing mercy to, Vexthor began. No, Xyloth interrupted, his voice grave. Not mercy. That was a demonstration. Dr. Quinn didn't save that predator out of kindness. She saved it because she could. Because she wanted us, wanted the entire consortium, to understand something fundamental about her species. He pulled up historical files on his datapad, images of Earth's past, humans taming wolves into dogs, befriending every creature they encountered, turning the deadliest predators into companions through patience and will. Humans don't see predators the way we do, Xyloth continued. Where we see danger and death, they see potential. They see something that can be understood, befriended, or if necessary, dominated. That wasn't mercy we witnessed. It was a warning. Vexthor's mandibles spread in confusion. A warning to whom? To anyone who would mistake their compassion for weakness, Xyloth said quietly. That human descended alone to face an apex predator because she wasn't afraid. She fed it, healed it, and earned its respect, not through force, but through sheer audacity and will. On the surface of Verdant 9, Dr. Alara Quinn walked back to her shuttle, her step light and confident. She had come to study predators, yes, but she had also reminded the watching galaxy of an old Earth saying, "It takes a predator to understand a predator," and humans, for all their apparent softness and mercy, had clawed their way to the top of their world's food chain and then reached for the stars. They had never forgotten what it meant to be both hunter and healer, both gentle and fierce. As the shuttle lifted off, Renak watched from the tree line, its obsidian eyes tracking the ascending craft. In its alien mind, a new understanding had been forged, not of fear but of recognition. The small, soft creature was not prey. She was family. And the galaxy would learn, as Renak had, that there was nothing more dangerous than earning a human's compassion, except betraying it.